At this time, I'd like to introduce Mike Knotts, Director of Governmental Affairs of our statewide organization, Tennessee Electric Cooperative Association. Mike?
Thank you, Mr. Drennan, and good morning. Well, I bring you greetings from Nashville, Tennessee. As Robert mentioned, my name is Mike Knotts, and I work with the Tennessee Electric Cooperative Association, and I would be remiss at the very beginning of my remarks if I did not say thank you to the Board of Directors here at Appalachian Electric Cooperative for voluntarily being a member of our organization. This is not an organization that they have to be a part of, but as I hope you'll see in just a couple moments, it's an organization that we believe is very valuable, not only to the staff here at Appalachian, but to you as the members. So thank you to them, and thank you to you as the member of the cooperative for being a part of our organization and helping us help you. So what is it exactly that the Tennessee Electric Cooperative Association does on your behalf? Well, most of you probably recognize our name through the Tennessee Magazine that you receive each month. We have a staff of just 4 people that produce over 19 different versions of that magazine every single month. And it's really a tremendous feat, and it's a high-quality publication, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll mention that on page 6, there's normally an article by some guy who has something smart-alecky to say. That would be my article, and I hope if I ever say something that causes you to think, or causes you to get mad, or causes you to raise your hands in praise, you'd drop me a line and let me know. We try very hard to make that publication interesting to you, and we want to make sure that it continues to do so. So we work hard to publish that magazine on your behalf. We do a number of things that you'll hear also later in the program today about concerning our youth. We have a number of youth programs, and you're going to hear some exciting stories about how we work with youth across the state. We also provide advocacy for you, the member of your member-owned electric cooperative in both Nashville and Washington, D.C. Yes, the dreaded term, we lobby on your behalf. I am a lobbyist. Some of you may not be able to see with these bright lights, the horns growing out of the back of my head. Admitting that I'm a registered lobbyist sometimes is a dangerous thing to do. But we have something very special in your electric cooperative. Electric cooperatives are different than every other utility across the nation. As a matter of fact, we're much more than a utility, because you as the member have a say-so in how this cooperative operates. You have an ownership stake in this cooperative. You are not just a customer, you're a member owner. And because that model is very special, it's very unique, and we believe extremely effective in bringing you low-cost, reliable electricity and much, much more, we will fight to maintain that ability to do that. And yes, there are folks who might disagree with how we do things. The fact that we do not return a profit to shareholders. There are plenty of folks in the electricity industry who would love to take on a group of customers and be able to increase their profit margins. We don't do that. This cooperative is a nonprofit entity. And so we fight to make sure that the cooperative maintains in a strong position, because there's 3 things that have the greatest degree of effect to change this cooperative's business model and their ability to provide you with low-cost, reliable power. Those 3 things are: first, politics; second, politics; and third, politics. So unfortunately, even though it makes some people uncomfortable, and especially here in an election season where maybe folks are getting a little bit tired of all the talk, we want you to know that we do this work on your behalf, and as we do it, we think about you every day, because what we do really is a part of our society. I just want to take a moment and ask you to think a little bit about the cornerstones of our society. Now, some of us might have different views on that. What are the most important parts of our society here in the United States? Is it our homes? Maybe so. We have a great land here. We have lots of physical land where folks are able to spread out. We don't live on top of each other the way they do in Japan. We have, that's a good thing. Families can come together and live under a roof. So the home is an important unit of our society. Our schools, obviously, an essential part of our society, where people come together and children learn and grow and become better adults. Maybe it's our hospitals, another very important thing that we do. Our police, our firemen, Is it our governments? There's lots of common cornerstones of our society that affect each and every one of us. But think about this. Everyone I've named, if you take away electricity, can they operate? Can they function in the way we've come to expect in our society to protect you and to provide the quality of life that you expect? I think you know the answer is no. Electricity is the universal product in the United States of America today. It's something that touches every single human being. So while folks in the political world may argue about issues that you may find unimportant, I would just put out there to you that electricity is something that affects every single one of us in the 21st century. So we're going to continue to work hard to do that for you. And as Michael touched on briefly, this does not come without a cost, both financial cost, physical cost, and the cost of not doing other things. But what I really want to talk about is the physical and human cost that electricity brings you. We may take it for granted that when we flip the switch, the lights will come on immediately. I say it a lot that the margin of error in our industry is about one millionth of a second. Because when you flip that switch, if the lights don't come on, then suddenly we've not done our jobs. But I hope you take a moment to appreciate that in order for that light to come on the second you flip the switch, there is literally hundreds of millions, possibly billions of dollars of infrastructure sitting in place to provide you with that convenience. Large power plants and dams, the types of things that Michael was talking to you about that here in this region of the country are provided to us by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Huge steel towers and steel wires strung for thousands of miles to deliver that power from point A to point B. Wooden poles, more wires that bring that to your house. All of these things are expensive and complicated. But more than that, someone, a human being, literally had to put all that together. And folks, right here at Appalachian Electric Cooperative, by being a member of this co-op and paying your bill on time, you employ a number of men called linemen whose jobs are to string those wires and bring that power to you. And I don't think we appreciate them the way we should. So I want to just do one quick little exercise to hopefully illustrate my point. This is audience participation. So I'm going to go down kind of a list of things, and when you hear something that excites you or something that you want to do on a regular basis, I want you to just raise your hand, okay? All right, so let's imagine that you've just worked about a 12-hour shift, okay? You've worked hard all day, 12-hour shift. Anybody excited about a 12-hour shift? Don't see any hands. You've just gotten home, you've maybe spent an hour with the kids, and you've helped put them to bed, and you've crawled into bed yourself for a good night's rest. Well, just as you're crawling into bed, you hear a clap of thunder. You see a little lightning out the window. You think, oh, I better get a little sleep while I can. You fall asleep, and at 2 a.m. the phone rings and wakes you up. Anyone? 2 a.m. phone call? The phone call says it's time to come back to work. Okay, I still don't see any hands. No one's excited about going back to work at 2 a.m. Now your job is to go out in that lightning storm and possibly climb a pole, 30, 40 feet up into the air while the lightning is crashing. Does that sound good? All right. Now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to reach up and reach even higher into the sky while the lightning is crashing, and you're going to touch metal objects. Does that sound like fun? No. Maybe instead of climbing, you've got a big, long pole that you're reaching up into the air with in a lightning storm. How's that sound? I think you get my point. All of this doesn't sound like a lot of fun, but these linemen voluntarily do these sorts of tasks on your behalf. And oh, by the way, even when the weather's good and they're doing their job, one mistake could possibly mean they don't come home to tuck those children into bed anymore. So the last thing I want to tell you about what the Tennessee Electric Cooperative Association does is we provide a program to help train those linemen to keep them safe. And you should be proud that your cooperative has a sterling record when it comes to the safety of those employees. You should be proud of that. And we should all be thankful for the risks they take to provide us something that, frankly, we don't even really appreciate anymore. So the next time you flip that switch, and maybe the light doesn't come right on, or the next time you come home and the digital clock is blinking 12, Take just a second, and instead of getting upset and making that phone call to get to ask, why did my power go off? Just take a moment to think about the guy who's standing out in the rainstorm to provide that convenience for you. If there's anything that we can do on your behalf, I've already praised your board and management. Greg Williams, I want you folks to know, is one of the finest utility managers in the Southeast. You're very fortunate here. But if there's anything that our association can do for you, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you.